Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is M.Naqshbandi from M.Naqshbandi channel. In this video, I'm gonna do an extensive and comprehensive analysis on each single resource made for TOEFL test. I'm gonna analyze their pros and cons and tell you their power and weak points so that you can have a better determination on choosing which books do you want to read and take preparation with for the TOEFL test. So if you want to know everything about books for TOEFL, make sure you watch until the end of this video, subscribe to my channel, give me thumbs up and comment below any question you have regarding TOEFL test. So let's go for the analysis of pros and cons. One of the biggest concerns every test taker has before taking preparation for the test is, so which resources should we read and take preparation with? Some of them choose official resources, which is good. Some of them choose unofficial resources, which is again good, but if they use official resources to teach you, as I told in my last videos. So in this video, I'm gonna go through each single resource there is for TOEFL, those famous and eminent ones, and analyze their power, their pro, and their cons or their weak points for you, so that you know which books should you read and which books should you buy, so that you do not waste your money and your time on buying and searching for the best resources. So in this video, we are going to go through each resource one by one and analyze their pros and cons. Let me remind you that by this video, our channel will start its work officially. I mean that we will put a video on a routine. I mean maybe one day by one day or 2 days by 2 days. It means that we will do it on routine, and also I'm gonna make a Telegram channel, which I will put the link in the description below. Make sure you subscribe me on there as well, and also subscribe me on my YouTube channel as well, and give me thumbs up so that we do more things and be supported more for making more videos and putting them on this platform. Resource number one, which is highly recommended by all the highest scorers plus the teachers, is the ETS official free resources, which are on the ETS official website. On the ETS official website, there are a bunch of free prep videos regarding the general tricks needed for the TOEFL test mastery. Plus, there is a diagnostic test which is highly recommended by all the test takers and teachers. Plus, there are a bunch of chapters out there that tell you the general tricks of TOEFL test that by using them you will just have a gist of what TOEFL is and what should you do on the TOEFL test. It has some pros. For example, it is free, which is highly satisfactory. Second of all, it's official, which is rare. And third of all, it is to the point, which is again rare. Actually, most of the unofficial resources are not to the point and they are mostly off topic. And its cons are that it's not extensive. What do I mean by this is that it's not specific. It has general tricks that may give you a gist of what should you do on the TOEFL test, and it does not go deep through the TOEFL test. Resource number two, which is a all favorite book, is TOEFL official guide or official guide for the TOEFL test, which I call as the Holy Blue book. Official guide for the TOEFL test is the most comprehensive book out there you can find for the TOEFL test preparation, so make sure you buy it. Why? Because it's first of all recommended by all of those who took the TOEFL test, and plus it's official and it has official questions inside of it. Its pros are that first of all it has official content, second of all it has hundreds of real TOEFL test questions inside of it. Third of all, what makes it the best among all is that it has official speaking and writing ratings by the official test raters. And third of all, it has 4 official TOEFL tests. So there is no reason for not buying this book. Actually, it's a must-have book for the TOEFL test. And its cons are nothing, actually, except for its answer explanations in the reading and listening section, which are not that extensive. The other parts are very, very highly qualified. The second most eminent book there is for TOEFL test is Volume 2, a highly recommended book by top scorers, by teachers. It has got 5 official tests inside of it, which are way more difficult than those in the official guide for the TOEFL test. And it has got its own funds through the years. Its pros are that it's first of all official, second of all it has hundreds of official test questions, third of all what makes it the best book among all in the speaking and writing section is that it has very difficult speaking and writing questions, plus it has official ratings of speaking and writing sections. However, it is a conspicuous con, which is that it doesn't have any answer explanation on its application. So because of it, it's not recommended for the reading section and listening section. However, if you want to take a difficult version of TOEFL reading and listening sections, make sure you do this test. Passing the official resources, there are unofficial resources that are highly recommended as well. Among all the third-party resources, there is NOTEFULL, which has been the top in the last 10 years in preparing thousands and thousands of students to take more than 100 or 110 plus or 115 plus scores like me on the TOEFL test. Joseph Miranda's NOTEFULL course did a good job on training students for the test and mimicking the official format of the TOEFL test. And it actually uses official resources to teach us what TOEFL is, and like lots of other resources, just like PBK, the big 3 that we are gonna go through in the video. Joseph Miranda's NOTEFULL did a good job on training students, thousands of them, on taking high scores from the TOEFL test and on mimicking the official format of TOEFL test, because it actually uses the official resources to teach us what really TOEFL is, which is highly, highly recommended and useful on training for the test. Its pros are that simply, if you want to take 30 scores from each section of the test except for the listening section, just go through the NOTEFULL course and finish this course until the end, and make sure you take all those 12 exams there are inside of this course. Unlike the reading section, speaking and writing section of this course, the listening section of the course doesn't mimic sufficiently what TOEFL really is. So make sure you not do the listening section of this course, because it's not that good, and actually we have better resources for you than the NOTEFULL listening section. But for the speaking section and the reading section especially, make sure you go through this course and finish this course. If you worry about the expensiveness of this course, don't worry. We are gonna go through each single part of the course, the NOTEFULL course, and I'm gonna give you the whole course for free in our next videos. Passing to the vocabulary and grammar section of the test, there are 2 big companies competing over 10 years on making the best books for the TOEFL vocabulary and grammar section of the test. They are Collins or Cobalt, and also BARRON'S essential words for the TOEFL test. Collins actually has got a very easier and more to the point vocabulary and grammar book than essential words for the TOEFL test. But if you want to have a better and a more academic vocabulary, make sure you buy the essential words. But first of all, make sure you do the Collins book. Why? Because it doesn't only have the vocabulary section, it has the grammar section, the summary of all the grammars you need for the test. a general tricks and general questions for the reading section, speaking, listening, and writing section of the test, which is like a very comprehensive general tricky book for the TOEFL test preparation. For those who think they are not advanced in English, I suggest you to, first of all, for maybe like 2 weeks or 1 month, go through the Collins Vocabulary and Grammar book and work it all and finish it so that you can master the basic tricks and the academic vocabulary and grammar you need for the test. These books pros are that they are simply all you need. Collins got everything you need on the TOEFL test. Actually, I saw some people who took 100 plus from the test and only read the Collins book and nothing else for the test. And also, if you want to have a more academic vocabulary, make sure you go through the essential words as well. The same as TOEFL official guide, there's no concern for these books, no weak points. They're power at all parts. So let's jump into the big three. PBCOP, Princeton, Barron's, and Kaplan's. The books that over years have been competing on making the best books for the TOEFL test. However, they're making the most off-topic books for the test. Why? Because they have brought business inside of the test-taking preparation, and also, they have brought like books that are not of equality, but they're highly advertised. Why? Because they spend a lot on these advertisements for these books. So do not be fooled by the advertisements of the books. They are really not that good that they sound. Princeton Prose is that it has POE explained not sufficiently in its book, but it's just explained, and it laid the basis of POE in this business and on TOEFL test, which is very, very good and highly recommended. But you do not need to buy a $50 or $30 book for just knowing POE. You can just search it on the internet and you can find tons of articles about POE that will teach you way better than what Princeton teaches you on POE. The cons of the book is that, first of all, the speaking and writing sections are formally completely off topic. None of the unofficial PBCOP resources are to the point in the speaking and writing section. Plus, its listening section is way more difficult than what TOEFL is, and its reading section is literally what Princeton has made. Actually, it's not what TOEFL says. Princeton has brought a new version of TOEFL inside of its book, and it's showing you some harder question types that I never saw on TOEFL test. To talk about the Barron's book, it has its own pros. Its pros is that its listening section is highly recommended. Why? Because it uses actually the official resources to teach us what really listening is, and I highly recommend you to go through the listening section of it, and especially the campus vocabulary, which is at the end of its book. However, like the other three books, its speaking and writing section is completely off topic, especially the speaking section of the book, which is, it's not what TOEFL says to you, and its reading section is very easy. I mean, by the time that I was taking like 23 scores on the real TOEFL test, I was taking 30 scores from the Barron's tests. So, they are not useful. Last but least, it is the least one, Kaplan book, which is, its pros is that it's a book, just it. And it's completely off topic. It doesn't mimic anything about the official TOEFL test on its book. So make sure you do not buy this book. This is just like a waste of time on buying this book. There are other books as well, like Longman, Nova, and Oxford books, which are not recommended except for the Longman book. Longman's listening, the same as Barron's, is highly recommended, and if you want to master the listening section of the test, make sure you go through the Longman's listening book, but not any other section because they are way harder than TOEFL. Oxford is like 10 times harder than what TOEFL is. So make sure you don't go through the book because it brings you stress. And Nova is like 10 times harder than what Oxford is. So make sure do not go through the Oxford and Nova book by any means. Thank you guys for watching my video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you're not. Comment below any question you have regarding TOEFL test. Join to my Telegram channel and give me a thumbs up. In the next video, we are going to be talking about the schedule I used and like 10 of my friends used for getting a high score on the TOEFL test, and I want to share that with you on the next video. So make sure you be notified by turning on that notification bell.